Hello, dear friends, welcome to our YouTube channel, USA Football Zone, latest football highlights. This is not merely a football match, it is far more than a 90-minute game. It is a century-old battle for dominance, a saga of pride, politics, and passion that transforms a simple sport into a grand contest of national identity. On one side, the blue and white jersey of Argentina, on the other, the yellow and green of Brazil. When these two footballing superpowers clash, the world pauses to watch. Yet, to understand why this rivalry still stirs the globe, why every tackle feels fiercer and every goal carries greater weight, we cannot simply look at the pitch today. We must journey back to a time before football reigned supreme, to the conflicts of the 19th century that laid the foundation for one of the sporting world's most intense rivalries. Long before Pelé and Maradona, even before the World Cup or the roar of fervent crowds, the seeds of this rivalry were sown in geopolitics. After gaining independence from their colonial rulers, Spain and Portugal, Argentina and Brazil emerged as the two dominant powers of the Southern Cone. Though neighbors, they were fierce rivals. Both nations inherited unresolved territorial disputes and shared a common ambition to become the region's leading power. This was no mere friendly rivalry, it was a deep-seated political conflict. One of the most serious confrontations was the Cisplatin War of the 1820s, an armed struggle for the territory now known as Uruguay. For decades, their relationship was clouded by a silent, simmering suspicion. Each nation viewed the other as its primary competitor for leadership in South America. Historians believe that this ceaseless tug-of-war for political and economic power laid the groundwork for the rivalry. This internal tension, this struggle for supremacy, did not simply vanish, it became deeply embedded in their cultures, waiting only for a new arena in which to erupt. That arena became the football pitch. Argentina and Brazil first faced each other on a football pitch in 1914. Although records regarding which match constituted the first official encounter are somewhat ambiguous, Argentina won that initial meeting 3-0, and from that moment on, the rivalry took on a new, intense dimension. The early years of this rivalry were highly volatile, marked by violent incidents both on and off the pitch. It soon became evident that this was about much more than just a game. The final of the 1937 South American Championship in Buenos Aires was marred by a hostile atmosphere among the spectators and culminated in a violent brawl. Another match during the 1946 South American Championship became notorious for brutal tackles and chaotic clashes between players and police. A victory over their greatest rival meant a triumph for the nation, a way to assert superiority. At least for a time, the sport became a source of national pride, offering people from both countries a chance to assert their identity against their arch-rivals. Dark events unfolding off the pitch constantly fueled this tension. As the 20th century progressed, the rivalry became increasingly defined by the legends who wore their respective national team jerseys. Debates over the greatest player of all time often boiled down to two names: Brazil's Pelé and Argentina's Diego Maradona. This debate itself turned into a kind of proxy war within the rivalry. Pelé, the embodiment of Jogo Bonito, the beautiful game, led Brazil to 3 World Cup titles. Maradona, on the other hand, was the embodiment of bold, rebellious genius, single-handedly leading Argentina to victory in 1986. Their distinct playing styles and personalities added fuel to the fire. With each nation claiming its hero as the undisputed king of football, their careers did not overlap for long, yet their greatness transcended even the most notorious moments of this rivalry. During the 1982 World Cup, as Argentina was being eliminated from the tournament, a young and frustrated Maradona was sent off for viciously kicking the Brazilian player Batista. Then came the 1990 World Cup in Italy, and one of the most infamous incidents in football history. In the round of 16, Argentina faced a formidable Brazilian side. During a break in play, Brazilian defender Branco drank from a water bottle handed to him by Argentine staff. He later complained of feeling dizzy and drowsy. Argentina won the match 1-0 thanks to a goal by Claudio Caniggia, set up by a moment of magic from Maradona. Years later, Maradona jokingly remarked on television that Branco had been given holy water. This fueled Brazil's suspicions that the water had been spiked with a sedative. Known as the holy water scandal, this incident remains a memorable and controversial chapter in the rivalry between the two teams, a prime example of the win-at-all-costs mentality that characterizes this clash. These stories offer just a glimpse of what makes this rivalry so special. From fierce battles to moments of extraordinary skill, every match tells a new story, marking the beginning of a new chapter. I would like to ask you, what is your opinion on Argentina? What do you consider the most memorable moment in the history of the Argentina-Brazil rivalry? Let us know in the comments below. And by the way, if you enjoyed these facts about this intense football rivalry, here is a small request: please click the subscribe button so you don't miss any future updates. The fire of this rivalry has not dimmed in the slightest. In the 21st century, two new titans have stepped into this battle for supremacy, led by Argentina's Lionel Messi and Brazil's Neymar. Their rivalry at the club level was merely the prelude to their clashes on the international stage. For years, Messi's illustrious career lacked one thing: a major international trophy with Argentina. Everything changed in 2021. In a twist of fate, the Copa America final was held at Brazil's iconic Maracanã Stadium. Argentina faced the hosts and defending champions. A goal by Angel Di Maria secured a 1-0 victory for Argentina, ending their 28-year trophy drought. For Messi, winning his first senior international title on his greatest rival's home turf was a moment of immense joy and pride for Argentina. This victory proved to be a turning point, paving the way for Argentina's World Cup triumph in 2022. This emotion and intensity carried over into the 2026 World Cup qualifiers. A match in November 2023 served as a prime example of this new era of rivalry. Play at the Maracanã was halted for 30 minutes due to a violent clash between spectators and police in the stands, led by Messi. The Argentine players walked off the pitch in protest but later returned to play. In a tense and thrilling match, Argentina secured a magnificent 1-0 victory thanks to a header by defender Nicolas Otamendi. This was no ordinary win. It marked Brazil's first ever defeat on home soil in the history of World Cup qualifiers. From the political intrigues of the 19th century to the packed stadiums of the 21st, the rivalry between Argentina and Brazil has never been confined merely to football. It reflects a profound, historic struggle for honor and supremacy at the continental level. Each generation adds its own debates, heroes, and legendary tales to the narrative of rivalry. FIFA itself has described as the essence of football rivalries. Players change and styles of play evolve, yet the core of this conflict remains constant: a battle for national pride. The intense qualifiers for the 2026 World Cup represent just another chapter in this unending saga. It is the story of two geographically linked nations divided by a passion that elevates the sport far beyond a mere game. That is why, when the Albiceleste and the Selecao take the field, it is not just a match, it is a moment that shakes the world.